However, it's believed that genetics play a large role and that exposure to certain environmental factors like viruses can act as a trigger. People who have type 1 diabetes need to closely monitor their blood glucose level and control it by insulin injections. In type 2 diabetes, insulin is still produced, but the cells just stop responding to it properly. When this happens, the condition is referred to as insulin resistance. Because of this, the pancreas has to start overproducing it just to maintain normal sugar levels. Initially, this isn't a huge problem, but as the disorder progresses, the insulin-producing cells can get worn out and stop working properly. Most cases of type 2 are managed using a combination of proper diet, exercise, and anti-diabetic medication. Injecting insulin is usually only needed in the late stages of the condition if the pancreatic cells are damaged. Like type 1, the cause is a combination of genetics and external factors. However, unlike type 1, these factors are much more controllable. Obesity, lack of exercise, poor diet, and stress are some of the biggest factors that contribute to it. By avoiding these, you won't necessarily escape your genetic fate, but you can greatly reduce the risk. Anyway, the last type is gestational diabetes. During pregnancy, some hormones from the placenta block the action of the mother's insulin, which can lead to insulin resistance. To overcome this, the mother needs to produce significantly more insulin than normal. If she already had some insulin resistance or problems making insulin, glucose can start building up, leading to gestational diabetes. This occurs in about 5 to 10% of mothers, but after birth, it usually goes back to normal. In any case, out of all these forms, type 2 is the most common, representing about 90% of all diabetes cases. All types, though, share one major and obvious symptom, which is increased urination. This was first recognized by the Egyptians and the Indians way back in around 1500 BC. Then, 1,000 years later, in around 250 BC, a Greek physician coined the term diabetes. It was derived from the Greek word that the Egyptians and the Indians is increased urination. Those share about 90% of all diabetes cases. This was first recognized by the Egyptians and the Indians way back in around 1500 BC. Then, 1,000 years later, in around 250 BC, a Greek physician coined way back. This was first recognized by the Egyptians and the Indians way back in around 50 BC. A Greek physician coined the term diabetes. It was derived from the Greek word meaning to pass through or siphon, which was in reference to the way that liquids seem to just pass through the body. This increase in urination happens because the level of sugar in the blood is way too high. Normally, the kidneys reabsorb pretty much all of the sugar from the urine, and none is lost. However, in diabetics, there's way too much of it and the reabsorption system is overloaded. Because of this, sugars, most notably glucose, are able to make it past the kidneys, and due to osmosis, they pull more water along with them. The earliest and only diabetes test for a long time was to taste the patient's urine. If it were sweet, the person was likely diabetic. This unique characteristic eventually led to it being called diabetes mellitus, where mellitus literally means sweet like honey. This pee tasting method continued for hundreds of years, but it obviously wasn't ideal. It took until 1841 for Carl Traumer to develop the first chemical-based test, which I'm sure a lot of people were thankful for. I'm going to show you guys how it worked, and because I want this video to be as accurate as possible, I'm going to be using real pee from a diabetic friend. For comparison purposes, I got two samples, one when her blood sugar was high, and one when it was normal. Just as a fun fact, when I was planning this video, I was extremely close to trying the classic taste test myself, but I'm sorry guys, when the time came, I just chickened out. Anyway, for Traumer's test, I need to make two solutions. The first is about a 5% solution of potassium hydroxide, which is made by mixing 0.5 grams with 10 mils of water. The potassium hydroxide dissolves very quickly and it disappears with just a little bit of swirling. The second is a 10% solution of copper sulfate, which is made by adding 1.1 grams to 10 mils of water. I again swirl it until it all disappears, but this time it takes a little bit longer. Now to test it out, the high sugar urine is mixed with about a third of its volume of the potassium hydroxide solution. Then to this, the copper sulfate solution is added dropwise with continuous mixing. Every time it's added, a small amount of greenish solid initially forms, which is copper 2 hydroxide. However, in strongly basic solutions like potassium hydroxide, the copper 2 hydroxide is slightly soluble, so it dissolves with a little bit of mixing. The goal now is to keep adding it very slowly, just until the solid stops redissolving and the solution is saturated with the copper hydroxide. This exact point is often hard to tell though, and it's pretty easy to overshoot. In any case, I eventually start to see some solid persist, so I take the tube off the stand and I place it in some near boiling water for a few minutes. If sugar is present, the color will change to yellow, orange, or red, depending on the concentration. Okay, so now to explain how this works. Glucose is known as a reducing sugar, and it's able to reduce the copper 2 hydroxide to copper 1 hydroxide, which is yellow. This newly formed copper 1 hydroxide is not very stable, so it quickly degrades to copper 1 oxide, which is red. All of these color changes give
Ну вот это и есть он самый, просто безрак. Нет, наоборот, нет, наоборот. А, ну нет. Ну это имеет в виду. Эй! Что это такое?
彼方へ送ります。私の全力。これでお別れ。さあやってやろうぜ。海賊の勇気見せてやろう。行くよ。私が終わらせる。はっ。 風に乗せて運んで私の思い。きついのいくよ。わっ、これで決める。こんなところかな。私打ち切れますわよ。いますわよ。悪いな。運命を断つ。はっ、あってあ。クコボンクコボン。私がみんな守るんだ。解き放つ。私は解放者としてここにいる。
Hey, you want to get leaner, stronger, learn some cool calisthenics, bodyweight skills, but right now you may need to cut some extra weight first. Or maybe you've experienced joint pains, injuries in the past, or you're over 35 and you're already experiencing the natural effects of aging and can't risk going. 騎士の心にいざ参る。私は強くなる。後悔するぜ。これが俺の全部だ。さあ、こうしよう。
Hey, Barrett, were you really walking the whole way?
Yep.
Calm's still pretty far, though, isn't it?
Another full day, give or take.
Question. When my mom says a full day, she means from the time you get up in the morning till the time you go to bed. But for me, it means from the time you get up in the morning all the way through till the time you get up the next morning. So, which is it for you?
Gotta go with Elmira on that one.
Whew, that's a relief.
Is it though?
Cloud, bet you've had to hoof it from sunup to sundown tons of times. This is all just same old, right?
That's right.
This is all just same old. You've had to hoof it from sunup.
Ну не понял. Ну ладно, нет,
Up to sundown tons of times. This is all just same old, right?
That's right. But even so,
We're same old, right?
that's right. But even so, we're all gonna need to stop and rest. Especially you.
Ну нет, ну вот это вот есть на самом деле.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, marching into the unknown ain't easy. But don't worry, because I'm here to lead the way.
That's comforting.
Of course it is. All right, everyone, let's stop here for a minute. Leader's orders. Now breathe in that fresh air. Oh, actually, scratch that. Let's, save it for later, when we're not so close to Midgard.
Guess this is goodbye, City of Mako.
Что там было написано? Джойстик, а нет,
Like this?
Yep, just like that.
Cool.
No way! A car!
Тоже где-то похоже.
What is it with these damn birds?
Sorry about that.
No need to apologize, ma'am.
Теоретически должно поесть. С утра встанешь и будешь. Может, привычка такая. А с чего ты взял, что нормально вообще?
Look at that. Where's a roof when you need one?
Gonna be okay?
Should be, but weird. My stomach's in knots.
That's its way of telling you it's hungry. Let's move.
О, кал.
It's been a while, huh? Long time no see. How you been? Listen. Hey.
Ну это уже из конца, наверное.
I'm back!
Все, не доживешь. Не доживешь.
Aerith?
Чё? Да ладно, фильм как фильм. Кубик не знаю. Ну, да, так и решил. Ну да, ты понял просто, да. Ну, ладно, ну а что делаешь теперь, да? Да, наверное, типично, да. Минус в том, что потреблять надо просто. А так ничего особо даже глупо как-то. Давай. Эй.
Well, guys, your girl finally made it to Midgar.
Ну надо. Наверное, нет, наоборот. Ну наоборот, значит. Ну наоборот, значит, не надо этого всего. Но если этого не надо всего, так зачем как-то...
You got this, Yuffie. My name is Yuffie, materia hunter and elite
Ну,
special
это я
forces
понял.
operative for the new Wutai government. I have orders to infiltrate Shinra headquarters and steal their ultimate materia. To prove to our common enemy that Wutai is not to be trifled with. Members of Avalanche, your full support. We got this. So, members of Avalanche, where are you? Come get me already! Okay, if I was a man in a Moogle hat. Wait, does this mean what I think it
Ну, наоборот, да нет, вот я себе так говорю, да, понятно. Ну, не знаю. Это у меня просто свои ассоциативные, так сказать. Да, да нет, просто интересно. Как бы личность моя, тип личности моей. Просто, да, ну нет, мне для себя самого надо. Ну или не надо, просто так уж. Да, и вообще, ну, наоборот, вы понимаете, ну, не надо так. То есть вы думаете, что не надо идти? Ну, понимаешь меня. Да. Агломерация как бы. Ну да. Не знаю, это тоже мне непонятно. Может, это действительно все плохо. Очень как настолько, что вообще. Ну ладно, работа есть. Что тогда все запрещать? Упразднять все надо, да? Ну, давай. Все надо упразднять. Это тоже смешно. Как можно не верить, если они уже существуют? Что хорошего, что плохого в этом, да. И вот так. То есть люди должны жить порознь все такие, да, порознь, да. Ну, наверное, да.